Tropical almond fruit comes from Terminalia catappa, a fast-growing, salt-tolerant coastal tree native to tropical Asia but now distributed across nearly all humid coastal regions worldwide. It thrives particularly well in India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, parts of East Africa, Pacific Islands, and tropical regions in the Caribbean and Central America. Its geographical spread historically aligned with maritime trade networks. Sailors often transported seeds and planted them intentionally because the tree produced valuable shade and edible kernels. Although commonly called tropical almond, it is taxonomically unrelated to the true almond of the genus Prunus. Its similarity arises only from the edible kernel within the hard endocarp of its fruit, which resembles almond-like flavor when dried. The fruit itself is drupaceous, green at early stages, turning reddish-purple as it matures. The outer flesh remains thin and fibrous, not typically consumed as fresh edible pulp. Instead, the true food source lies inside the layered shell, which contains a dense seed. Historically, extracting the edible kernel required considerable manual labor. The shell hardens into a lignified structure. Cracking it demands precision, often using a flat stone technique. The kernel yields oil-rich material with fatty acid compositions similar to almond and walnut. Research confirms presence of oleic acid, linoleic acid, palmitic fractions, and sterol compounds. Indigenous coastal communities consumed the kernel dried, roasted, or pressed into oil. Nutritionally, the kernel is energy-dense, containing healthy fats, proteins, and micronutrients. Analytical measurement reveals vitamin E derivatives, polyphenols, and carotenoids. In regions lacking domesticated nut crops, tropical almond played an important nutritional role, particularly in Pacific settlements and Caribbean islands where the seasonal food variety was limited. Beyond dietary function, the tropical almond tree has deep ethnobotanical relevance. In Southeast Asian traditional medicine, fresh leaves often appear in decoctions aimed at reducing inflammation, treating digestive disturbances, and extending the life of medicinal mixtures. Leaves are widely used in aquaculture today. Dried leaves added to freshwater tanks replicate natural tannin levels, lowering pH and supporting antimicrobial balance. This practice emerged because leaf tissues contain tannins, flavonoids, and phenolic compounds that slow unwanted bacterial growth and fungal proliferation. In West African and Caribbean communities, bark extracts were incorporated into topical treatments. Ecological studies reveal bioactive compounds such as ellagic acid, quercetin, galatanins, and various triterpenoids. These compounds match properties known from classical medicinal herb traditions. Because the wood contains pest-resistant compounds, harvested trunks were historically used in simple construction, canoe shaping, ceremonial platforms, shade structures, and durable posts. From a botanical standpoint, the tree displays a distinctive layered branching pattern. Leaves cluster radially, falling seasonally even in non-temperate climates. Fallen leaves decompose slowly, altering soil acidity and acting as natural mulch stabilizers. The fruit floats due to its buoyant fibrous structure. This buoyancy supported long-distance dispersal across ocean currents, enabling the tree to colonize coastal regions independently, aside from human intervention. Its root system reinforces coastal environments, holding loose soil and resisting wind-based erosion. For this reason, urban planners added the tree along beaches, ports, and roadways. Scientific research highlights how its roots tolerate salt exposure, oxygen-poor sand environments, and inconsistent hydration cycles better than other commercial nut-bearing tree species. Commercial exploitation remains relatively minimal today. Unlike almond, cashew, or macadamia, which are mass-industrially processed, tropical almond never entered large-scale agricultural systems due to its labor-intensive kernel extraction and inconsistent yield. However, small-scale artisan processes in South Asia and Africa still produce edible seed oil. Scientific evaluation has compared its oxidative stability to refined almond oil, finding similar resilience. The fruit's cultural role transformed significantly over time. In Polynesian regions, shade from the tree was symbolically linked to coastal gathering areas. Fruits were consumed particularly during seasonal scarcity. In the Philippines, toasted seeds were given as snacks comparable to peanuts. In Madagascar and Réunion, roasted kernels traditionally appeared during festival periods. Meanwhile, the leaves gained significance in modern industries unexpectedly. Better fish breeders worldwide now use catappa leaves due to water softening effects. The tannin release shifts aquarium chemistry into more stable acidic ranges, reducing stress in selective freshwater fish species. Ecologically, the tree continues to maintain importance. Because its large canopy spreads extensively, it functions as an urban shade tree in humid neighborhoods, lowering surface temperature around pavements and beaches. Leaves support microfaunal decomposers. Fallen fruits feed terrestrial crabs, rodents, and birds. Its seasonal shedding cycle resembles temperate phenology, despite its adaptation to equatorial climates. While rarely commercialized aggressively, some horticultural researchers propose selective breeding to enhance kernel size and yield. Observations confirm considerable variability already present. Fruits collected from Sri Lankan and Indian populations often produce larger seeds than those found in Caribbean populations, suggesting that domestication potential exists. Tropical almond illustrates how a fruit may influence human life outside simple dietary use. It integrates into medicine, environmental planning, aquaculture, small-scale food culture, and symbolic coastal identity. Although not mass-market dominant, its role remains structurally significant wherever it grows. The fruit is an example of how species move across continents through maritime routes, transforming cultures subtly rather than dramatically. From pre-colonial navigational expansions to contemporary ecological restoration, Terminalia catappa stands as a botanical marker of settlement, coastlines, and traditional sustenance systems. Understanding the tropical almond allows deeper insight into how edible tree crops adapt to challenging ecosystems while providing layers of use, food, shade, medicinal value, habitat stabilization, and seed oil potential. In an era emphasizing ecological restoration and sustainable coastal protection, species like tropical almond continue to hold relevance that extends far beyond their simple identity as fruit-bearing trees.